welcome back to my channel. I feel like this is going to be a very windy start to the vlog. Welcome back. My name is Clara, for those of you that are new here, and I am a yoga teacher based in Dubai. And welcome to this, I think it's going to be a daily vlog. It's going to be a vlog of my day. I'm in a bit of a weird space at the moment. We're definitely in a bit of a, I've had a low, I've had quite a low week. And I'm using today to get back on track, to kind of get a grip, to do loads of self-care. That is very much the vibe for today. So I thought that I would take you along with me because I really wanted to make sure we had an upload for next week. And I haven't been weekly vlogging. This week hasn't gone to plan, but I know that I am so guilty of quite often showing up only when things are good. And I think that it's actually, I love watching vlogs when things, not when things are bad, but when people are actually going through real stuff and seeing how they cope with that. So this is going to be a complete self-care, get back on track, sort my life out kind of day, which I really, really need. So it's about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. I got up, I made myself a cup of tea, I came to the beach, obviously an hour later than I planned because it wouldn't be a floppy, like getting out of a slump day if you actually were able to wake up really early and get to places that you wanted to be on time. But I made it to the beach at about 8:30. I've been on a nice long walk and I've had a swim, I've had a cry. That was on my list to do today. I've made a very long list actually, I'll share it with you. I've meditated, I did myself energy healing as well. So I've had a really good, like almost energetic hygiene morning, if that makes sense. Just trying to give myself a real reset. So yeah, had a swim, did a self-reiki, did a nice long meditation, pulled some cards, and I feel like we're off to a good start. And of course, I had the honorary cry that you always need to have when you're having your self-slumpy sort of time. But what is on my list for today? So, let me just find it. Okay, so I've called it my Get a Grip Day. This is honestly hilarious. I really hope you guys enjoy this kind of vlog of me trying to pull myself out of being a hot mess express. But yes, on my list of things to do today was to go for a walk, which I've done, do a meditation, which I have done, also self-reiki and EFT, which is, I think it's energetic field tapping. That might be completely the wrong breakdown of the name, but EFT, self-meditation, just to self-healing and just to bring me back into my own energy, or at least begin to. The rest of the things on my list today are, I need to do a food shop, I need to practice yoga. I've actually going to do an online class this evening, and then I need to book my yoga classes going forward. So I have my self-practice booked in. I need to do a pharmacy run and go and get loads of self-care bits. It's the first day of June. Happy June 1st. I want to spend some time planning June. I want to get myself a matcha as well. So that is kind of the vibe for today, is there's lots to be done. And I'm kind of at the stage where, okay, I've taken the morning. I think the plan is now, on my way home, I'm going to pop into Sephora and Boots. Fingers crossed they have what I need. I want to get hair oil and a hair mask, and then I just need loads of like basic pharmacy stuff from Boots. So I think that is kind of the vibe, and I'll take you along with me as I get out of my slump. I think before we even begin, I just want to say, if you feel like maybe you're going through a bit of a flop era, a slump, I feel like I've been saying this for a little while, but I feel like I'm in a flop era, as I like to call it. It's a little bit more lighthearted, but I feel like I've been seeing it coming for quite a long time. I think I'm self-aware enough to know that when my energy shifts, that I've been seeing it coming. However, I've been finding it really, really hard to, sometimes you just gotta let it do its thing, right? Like every flop era, every slump, every ebb is serving you in some kind of way. Like life is happening for you. So I've just kind of been observing it happening and moving through the feels of it all happening and being like, okay, the outcome of this is gonna be amazing, but you do just have to sit in this for a little while. So it's knowing that, like, if you are also going through an ebb when you used to be on a flow, or a low when you were having a real high, and I had a really long flow state and a really long high state before this. Like, it's probably been almost 2 years since I felt like I've been this level low. So just know it's part of life, and after every ebb, every low, there will always be a high, and there's always going to be that flow state that returns. So just want to put that out there and say that. So yeah, let's really jump into this self-care, get a grip day, as I called it on my list. and I will take you along with me. Hello guys, it is now a little bit later and I am looking green but somehow still so much fresher. As you will have seen after the beach, when I checked in with you, I on my way home popped into Sephora. I will show you the bits that I got. I got a hair oil, I got like a cute body spray, and then a moisturizer I was looking for. I did mean to do a pharmacy run, but there was just nothing in the pharmacy that I needed, so I ended up just ordering a few bits, which literally just really boring bits like tampons and literally things like that. Nothing exciting at all. But I then went up to the sauna, which I showed you. So we're really lucky that in our building we do have a sauna, and I've never ever used it. I think it's actually a steam room, not a sauna, but I've never actually used it. But I am actually having a little bit of back pain at the moment. I tweaked my back in my personal practice just through, I guess, pushing a little bit too hard, not being that self-aware with that. So yeah, I did tweak something, and I just thought going and getting it all nice and hot would be really good for me. And I also think that it feels quite cathartic, like just like fully sweating out and having a real like energetic cleanse. Always energy. I just felt very energetically cleansing. So that was actually really nice, and it's not something I do very often, but it was super nice. I then came back and I had the shower. So like washed my hair, obviously have a face mask on, everything. So yeah, I'm feeling much more fresh. I'm in nice clean clothes. And the plan for the afternoon is I've just had my lunch. I ordered myself a really nice salad, and I think that when you are feeling a little bit so not feeling good, I personally really notice when I am not nourishing my body with high vibe food, if that makes sense. So like energetically, the food that we eat does carry energy to it, and when I'm eating quite like low vibe foods, so things that I guess are a bit unhealthy or things that just don't have me feeling my best, it really does change the way in which I feel. And the salad I ordered today is actually my favorite salad. I need to actually take some time and see if I can figure out how to make it myself, but it is the sauce that is so good, like the dressing. So we're gonna play with that. We're gonna see if we can find the recipe to do that ourselves. But it was lovely, and I needed that just to shift a little bit because we have nothing in the fridge. So I was like, let's have a nice lunch so we can continue on. So let's come to my list. What was it? A get a grip list. Honestly, I'm finding this really funny, my get a grip day, but it's so accurate. Okay, so I have done the steam room, so I can take that off. I've also washed my hair, which is great. And I also did my pharmacy run. Even though it wasn't successful, I still was able to order the bits and they arrived. So what else do we need to do? So other things that I really want to do today are I'm going to sit now, make myself a cup of tea. I obviously need to blow dry my hair and just get myself feeling a lot cleaner, but I am going to take some time to plan and just sit down and do a bit of not a to-do list, but just like a reset, maybe even make some intentions for the month of June. Because it is the first of the month. I also want to practice yoga. We're going to go and do a food shop later and make like a really nice, like comforting soul food dinner that I think is just going to make me feel so much better as well. So yeah, that is very much the plan. But I do have, there was something, book my yoga classes. That's something else I'm going to do now. I'm going to make myself a tea, sit and book my yoga classes. I need to order a refill of one of my foundations as well, so I'm going to do that now, just so I can tick everything off of the list and just feel a little bit more productive. guys, I cannot even express how much fresher I feel already. Obviously I've just blow dried my hair, I've taken off my face mask, and that face mask has actually done the world of good. I've got quite dry skin at the moment, so that has just infused with loads of moisture. Obviously we've still got a few breakouty bits, but that's what stress does to you. We're not even going to worry about that. We're just looking after the best with what we have right now. So I am just actually having a biscuit tea, treating myself a little bit here. And I am just sitting down to have a moment to, I guess, reflect and write some intentions going forwards for June. So I think I mentioned it's the 1st of June today, which is very coincidental. This was not planned at all, but I really want to use that as a opportunity to set some intentions going forwards and really see if I can keep this energy shifted, because I am just feeling so much lighter. Honestly, I just feel so much better, which is really, really nice. Yeah, it's very much needed for sure. Anything else that I wanted to do today? Yeah, so I'm just sat with my journal, and I'm going to take this time to really tune into whatever I'm going to bring into June, which, to be honest, I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to need to take a minute and decide. But then I think afterwards I'm going to do a bit of a yoga practice. Something I've been really, I guess, feeling into over the past months. I'm going to say months, even though that's something I probably don't want to admit, is this very like Kali energy, right? So for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with the yogic goddesses, Kali is the goddess of destruction and radical change. And understandably, she's not necessarily an energy that I particularly warm to. But I definitely feel like I've just had that energy with me recently of like everything needing to begin to fall to the ground, and all of the, I guess, sort of systems you think you know and the reality you think you have created beginning to crumble, so that you can then step forwards and really see everything for what it is and step into your highest, and really taking you to the crux or a tipping point so that you come back so much stronger. That is very Kali energy. She's like that classic tough love, I'm gonna take you to where you feel like you have almost nothing and still show you how worthy you are kind of vibe, which, to be honest, I'm actually warming up to her. I'm really, whilst a few months ago I really almost not, yeah, I guess resented that card coming. I'd be like, oh no, like that's not an energy I want to deal with. Whereas now I'm like, okay, I can begin to see the benefit of the destruction and see the benefit of the crumbling, right? Very Tower card energy, if anyone reads tarot here. But yeah, just really feeling into that. And it had me really thinking as well, because I'm not someone who's particularly self-destructive. I'm not someone who self-sabotages an awful lot. I think we all do. But I've definitely noticed more recently that I have noticed myself self-sabotaging and almost self-destructing a little bit. And, you know, sometimes I don't actually think, maybe it's not, maybe this would rephrase the term, but just through my experience recently, I do think that sometimes it's an energy that's needed, right? Sometimes this destruction energy of like letting everything fall to the ground so that you can come back as a higher version is needed. And so I'm going to push the boat out there and say that I don't actually think that self-destruction is always a bad thing. I think that maybe it's a catalyst for growth and change. And that's definitely something I'm feeling into, and that's kind of the focus of the yoga practice I want to do later. I actually found a class very much focused around, where I really wanted to infuse this sort of Kali energy into a yoga practice. It's a bit of a yin practice that I'm going to do later, which I'm really looking forwards to, and just allowing myself to be fully held, not having to create a practice for myself, just really following along, allowing someone else to hold space for me, which I think is going to be really, really, really nice. Hello guys, it's quite a while later from when this vlog was filmed. We're like not even on the second week, probably itching into the third week of June now. However, I actually did really want to come on and finish the vlog because I feel like actually it's a really good vlog to finish. As you will have seen through the footage, I did my evening yoga practice, and I think that was pretty much all I then did for the day. And I think at that stage I was so tired and so exhausted from kind of pulling myself out of that slightly lower energy that I needed a really restful evening and needed just to completely chill. And then I completely forgot to pick up and finish the vlog later on. But with that being said, I did want to share it, I did want to show it, and just kind of put it there as a reminder that whilst life is going to have ups and downs, and we're all going to go through ebbs and flows, you can make the conscious decision to begin to pick yourself up. And I think it's this remembering that when you are maybe going through a slightly harder time, when there's lots of changes happening, that it's going to be up and down, and that's okay. I think sometimes we think, okay, right, I'm tired of it feeling this way, I'm going back to being up, and it doesn't really work that way. I think sometimes we need to remember that when it comes to this act of surrender, that we've got to surrender to the fact that it's going to be up and down, and there are going to be good days and there are going to be harder days. So that is very much, I think, my parting words for this vlog in terms of what's been going on for the rest of the month. I've been taking this time to get back on track with filming content for you guys. So for you guys on Soulshala, making sure all of the classes that I create there are just really amazing and of the quality I want them to be. I've also been taking so much time to think about self-care. So actually on the day that I filmed this vlog, I made one of my intentions self-care, and that is definitely what I've been doing over the past few weeks, is really prioritizing my self-care. So with that being said, I'm actually starting a new vlog today, and it will be a self-care week vlog. So if you are watching this and you want to go and see what I've been up to in terms of self-care, feel free to pop over to that video. I will link it here. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for bearing with my Get a Grip day. Know that I am sending you so much love, no matter what it is that you're going through, and I will see you in our next video together. Bye guys.